Hello students, how are you? I hope you will be very fine students. Students, today we will discuss about one of the most important topic of your board classes or your competition classes. That topic is motion. And students, I think motion is one of the most controversial topic. The controversial word which is related to this topic motion, we will discuss about in this video. But firstly, we will define the motion. Students, generally we can say that if the position of any object is changed with respect to time. With respect to time means if the time is changed and the position is also changed, then the object will be known in motion. But it is not enough for the claim of any object which is in motion. It is not enough. Because for the motion of any object, the most required thing is observer. What is observer? Observer is a rest object or a stationary object which prove your motion, which claim your motion. Because if the position of any object is changes with respect to other stationary object or observer, then the object is known in the motion. So for the motion of any object, the most required thing is observer. For example, if we travels inside the bus and if any person which are stand outside the bus and that is in rest, then they can say that we are in the motion. Will be also in motion with respect to all those objects which are outside the bus and which are in rest. So for the motion of any object, the most required, most important thing is observer. Yes, the observer is most required. Because we can say that because we know that the time is changed, the position of any object is changed, then the object is known as is in motion, but most required thing is observer. I think you will be understand this this topic in easy way. And students, now we will discuss also about the controversial word, which firstly say about the motion. Students, controversial. Why the controversial? Why the motion is Students, why the motion is controversial? If you are in rest, then you cannot claim rest. Then you are in not absolutely rest. Then you are not in absolute rest. Why? If you are in the rest, then you can be rest all those objects which are surrounding to us, which are surrounding to the objects. But we are stand on the earth, which are stay on the in this world on the earth. But earth is continuously moving. Earth लगातार चल रही है. Earth is continuously moving. And if any object will see to us from any object will see from the space, then we will be in motion because earth is in motion. So we will be in rest. All those objects which are in rest surrounding us. But for space, for any moving object which are not related to the earth, then we will be in motion. So we cannot say that we are in completely rest. We are in absolute rest. So we can say that the motion is most controversial because absolute rest is not possible. We cannot in completely rest for all the universe, for all the world. So this controversial word is related to the motion. Now we can also say about motion is related with all the or many terms which are which are distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, instantaneous velocity, instantaneous acceleration, and all the words and all the terms. Especially motion are two types on the basis of position and time change. The motion are two types, are uniform motion and non-uniform motion. For uniform motion, we can say that if any object covers equal distances in equal interval of time, then the object will be known in uniform motion. Here is the sense, here is the meaning of equal interval of time. The time should be unit. For example, if any object travels 0 to 1 second 20 meter, 1 to 2 second 40 meter, 2 to 3 second 60 meter, 4 to 5 second 80 meter. In per interval of time, here is in time interval is also 1 second, also 1 second. In all the cases, time interval is 1 second, and the distance covered in each equal interval of times: 20 meter, 40 minus 20, 20 meter, 60 minus 40, 20 meter, 80 minus 60, 20 meter. So this motion is known as uniform motion. What is non-uniform motion? The non-uniform motion is if any object travels unequal distances but in equal interval of time, then the object will be known in non-uniform motion. For example, now we can see here is 20 meter, here is 30 meter, here is 20 meter, here is 30 meter, here is 70 meter, here is 80 meter. The time interval in each cases is equal, are equal: 1 second, 1 second, 2 minus 1, 1 second, 3 minus 2, 1 second, 5 minus 4, 1 second. 20 meter in first 1 second, next 1 second, 30 minus 20, just 10 meter. Just noted this point. 3 minus 2, 1 second, here is 70 minus 30, 40 second. 80 minus 70, 10 meter. So this motion will be known in uniform motion. So the motion are especially two types. But question are, what is speed, what is distance, what is displacement? Generally we can say that distance, the length of path is called distance. जो रास्ते की लंबाई होती है, जो लेंथ होती है, उसे डिस्टेंस कहते हैं. The length of path is called a distance. What is displacement? Now we can say that displacement about the shortest distance between 2 points is known as displacement. Now here is the question. What is the difference between distance and displacement? The distance and displacement are differ to each other, but in some cases they should be equal, they should be same. The distance can be equal to the displacement or not equal to the displacement. Displacement cannot be greater than, noted this point, displacement cannot be greater than distance. This could be equal. So displacement can be same or equal to the distance, not greater, not bigger. For example, if we move from here a point A to point B and then point C, if the distance from here is 20 meter and from the distance B to C is 30 meter, then the distance from A to C will be 30 plus 20. That will be 50 meter. But displacement will be this. This A to C. And this will be the square root of 20 square plus 30 square. And this will be the displacement. And this and it can be solved. 400 plus 900 goes to 1300. And if you are solved this is completely, then you can achieve the displacement. But remember this, distance and displacement are not same, not equal. So we can say that distance will be greater than, distance will be greater than or equal to displacement. So we can say that distance will be greater than or equal to displacement. The distance cannot be smaller than displacement. And the ratio of distance and displacement are greater than or equal to 1. It is most important thing which are very, very important from the competition point of view or your board classes point of view. The ratio of distance and displacement will be greater than or equal to 1. But the displacement or the ratio of displacement or distance will be less than or equal to 1. This is one of the most different way to define the displacement and distance. But we can add on this topic is one of the most important thing, vector and scalar. Vector are those quantities which are direction and magnitude. Scalar are those quantities which have only magnitude, no direction. For the vector quantity, the most important thing is direction and magnitude. But vector quantity also should be obey the vector laws. But in some cases, those quantities which have direction and magnitude but not obey the vector laws, they are known as scalar. But they have also direction. For example, current have direction and magnitude, but it is scalar. But we cannot say about the current is a scalar. It is also a tensor quantity, because for complete scalar quantity, the quantity should not have direction, but current have direction and magnitude, but it not obey the vector laws. So it cannot be vector, it cannot be scalar, so it will be tensor. But if the for example, if you have any question, current is a quantity, your option is scalar, vector, tensor, none of these, then you should be pick tensor. If your option are scalar, vector, both scalar and vector, none of these, then you can pick scalar. So in this video, the topic was motion and was in many ways in complete way. So thanks for watching this video. Keep watching my videos.